Hey, hello there. How you doing? Good morning. Sorry guys if I'm not speaking much this morning. Just trying to get in the uploaded as fast as I could, which I'm doing quite good on time. There's only one load today and then a few bits to do around the yard, and I can go home quite early today because it's Friday. And we all deserve some rest. A few hours of rest on Friday. It has been quite an interesting week. And of course, nothing will stop because I also have few jobs to do in the evening, which is related to massage treatments. It's still part of the game, part of the job, so it's all good. All good and sound. How you doing? Good morning, sir. How you keeping? Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope life is treating you good. And it's Friday, which makes life always easier. Well, for those who doesn't work on the weekend, it makes it easier. For those who works on the weekend, like when I used to be a chef, that was just a disaster. That was the weekend to Friday. That was a proper nightmare because you knew how busy it would go in the I've posted some pretty good stuff on there. I've been zooming. Oh, how you doing, buddy? I've posted. I'm gonna have to have a look when I get a bit of time, buddy. Surely I will do. How is life treating you anyway? Is everything okay around your sides? How is things at your end? Here things all the same, buddy. Working, training, having this cold, well, this bad cough for a long time now, a bit of stomach flu. Trying to keep on top of things, but as I say, life. It's all about life. But now we're kind of recovering, but it has been quite difficult in the past few months. So yeah, should not complain too much, to be honest with you, because I'm still here, it's still around, but could it be a lot easier? It's not, but it's okay. At least kind of surviving through the hard times, the process. But yeah, once again, it's just another obstacle on the way. It's not a barrier, it's not like nothing what I cannot go through. It's just I need to slow down the process, that's all. I just need to take it easy with things what I'm doing at the moment. But it's still training. It's still, well, as you can see, it's still works, it's training, just a bit weaker. My hip is not great yet. My, few bits and bolts on the way. But getting there on the mat. Oh yeah, problems, they are part of life, and we should actually be happy having them. A man without a problem is a man without perspective of life and no chance of growing in life, no chance of improvement in life. So the problems always make us strong. The problem always keep us on the go. Of course, sometimes we could avoid having them, but also if you don't have those issues to try to solve, to resolve those problems, life would get boring. Absolutely boring. So this is how we see our self-development, when we need to learn how to resolve those sorts of issues that comes to our life. So yeah, I'm quite pleased when I have something on my mind and I really have to battle with that for days and days until I find the solution that I need. Of course, I'm not saying I'm right in what I'm saying to you right now, guys, but that's what keeps me going. That's how I see life. That's what keeps me moving forwards. Resolution. And that's how I tend not to repeat some mistakes that I do. Of course, I'm still gonna make some mistakes. That's part of life. That's what we do. That's who we are. We need to make those mistakes. Just not repeating the same ones, because that's being a fool. Absolutely fool. But there are no way to stand up from a fall if you don't fall down. And each time you raise, you get stronger and stronger. And it's even better when you can actually come back without any help, because you can proudly say, I did it by myself, without anyone to help me. So this is how you're going to become even stronger. Nothing wrong if someone is there helping you. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But when you do everything without any help and you can manage, you can be proud of yourself, because going through a storm on your own is not easy. But you're always going to see the sunshine at the end of the storm. And no one can come and say, well, you survived that because I did help. No, bollocks. course, this is only my point of view. This is only the way I see it. We all have survived hard times. Indeed, buddy. Hard times is good for us because surviving through the hard time is when you enjoy the glory of the good times, you know. And there is no bad time which lasts forever unless you want it to be. Unless you want to drown yourself on those bad episodes of life. Because that's what some people do. They like to victimize themselves and they don't want to stand up for themselves. They keep blaming the world for their failure. When it's nobody's fault. It's just how the world works. Because the world is not a playground like a lot of people think it is. But you see, I'm quite happy. I'm very, very happy, in fact, seeing your self-development. You know, seeing you become like the man who you want to become, buddy. You know, I'm quite happy for you. And this is the way to go. Never giving up. And of course, learning day after day how to exercise the demons inside our own minds. This is the most important, you know. Let me just put the machines away. Oh, Lord Almighty. You see, buddy, I remember once you were mentioning something like respect and trust, they walk together. In fact, they do not, as we spoke before. Respect and trust, they are two complete opposites. It might be the same coin, but you still have two sides. Because in the end of the day, we do need to respect everybody, every single person around us, every single opinion. We must respect people. Okay? Trust is something completely different. It's not because you respect someone you're gonna trust that person. You know, there's a thin line between one to another. The trust is something what you don't get just like that. You know, it's very complicated. I understand that now. There is people that respect and trust them. Exactly. But we always need to respect them because that's how we get our respect back. You know, it was a time when we could gain respect from people using force. It does not work. It does not work at all. It gives the impression of the respect, but the respect is not there. Because if people, they start fearing you, and that fear can be quite dangerous, because people, they can cause harm to you because they fear you, not because they respect you, because they don't want you to be on their way. But once you show them some respect and each of us stand on our own spot, that will make life a lot easier to live, a lot easier to survive and understand how the world would work, you know. Anyway, this is life. This is how we perceive life. That's how we learn every single day. You know, life is a school. There is no one single person in the world who can say I'm the wisest man in the world. Whoever thinks that is the foolest person in the world, because every single day we learn something new. We learn different things every single day, and we can never be so full of ourselves and convinced no one knows better than what we do, because we are simple human beings making mistakes all over the place. Right, let me just get this lost. One to the, and then I'll be heading for the deliveries. I'll be back in 1 second. Ah. Fantastic, buddy. Fantastic. As I say, I'm proud of yourself. I really am. To see the man that you are becoming. You know, things can be much simpler than sometimes we think it is or we expect that is. There's well as things where you can actually see life just for the fact we wake up in the morning and we can breathe a fresh air, we can move our hands, we can see, we can hear, we can talk. You know, this is already, that's the most and the greatest thing can happen to us. And from there, we just need to make our path. Just being alive is already a matter of the day. Right, guys, nice seeing you, buddy. Nice seeing you around here. I'm gonna check on your page later on. And let's get to work now. So nice seeing you all, guys, in the morning. Liam, look after yourself, buddy, and everybody else. So I'll speak to you guys later on. Bye for now.